Hey everybody, it's Duke. My next door neighbor said he found this picture. He said it automatically reminded me of him. It reminded him of me because I usually listen to a lot of Grateful Dead music. And then I'll be back in a minute and I'll show you what I got from Disco Biker. Okay, Disco Biker a while back had a drawing, and I won one of her paintings. I can't remember what she calls it, acrylic painting. And now, I used to study astronomy, and it looks like a nebula to me. I mean, you can turn it this way, and it looks like that area right there could be a mountain range. That spot right there could be a ocean beach right there. And algae plume, could be. But or it could be an island with a lot of water around it. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm gonna frame it and hang it up. I'm gonna make me a special frame for it. But anyway, I'm gonna head out to the shop and I'll see you there. Bye for now. Well, I'm back again. I was watching. Well, I had his name a minute ago. He's from up in Canada. He was talking about some guys on his website, on his neighbor's house. They were putting a roof on in the middle of winter. And it was snowing. They were expecting a blizzard. But it reminded me, he was talking about how they wasn't using any safety equipment on that roof and everything. And it reminded me of my first time I worked on roofing. I had gotten a summer job with my man my dad worked for by the name of Cole. He wasn't nothing but a thief. Paid me $35 a week. Man, I thought I was making a killing because I didn't know what people made. And I was mostly a gopher. And up in Tennessee, some of the houses, as of course now we know they're asbestos shingles, but they had these shingles. You mostly saw them on the side of the house, covering the side of the house. But on this one particular house we worked on, they had them as roof shingles. And we were up there and you just had to take a shovel, just scoop up and pop it up. And if it didn't pull the nails out, it just broke off the shingle. And I was doing something, I don't know what I was doing, but anyway, we'd gotten a bunch off and slid into the back of the truck. We'd take a shovel full, put them in a ones that did slide off the roof, we'd put them in a chute. It'd send them to the back of the truck. Well, I was walking through, I may have had a shovel full of shingles because we used the wide snow shovel, what we call snow shovels, or coal shovel. That's what Dad called it, coal shovel. And I was walking along the edge of the building. I stepped on a broken shingle, and when I did, it took off down the top of that house just like a sled. And here I was standing up holding that shovel. Well, first I threw the shovel away, got rid of it instantly. And I remember as I hit the back of the pickup on my butt, thinking, this is gonna hurt. But I fell and I slid down that chute just like sliding down the side of a mountain. But I wound up sitting down in the back of that truck. And when I stood up, I had shingles nailed to my ass. And it didn't hurt. Didn't hurt right then. And I can't remember. My dad wasn't working with this. He's painting. He's probably working on one of the new houses. Because Cole, he remodeled houses, roofed them. Hold on just a minute. Never mind. Somebody wanting to call. Want to know about my Social Security payment stuff. I don't even talk to them. I just hang up and block their number. I had a guy here call me the other day and they said, and he was from India, says, I can't make the thing out, and he said, Mr. Tittle, he said, I am from the IRS. I said, no, you're not. I said, you're from India or Pakistan. Well, why? How do you think that? I said, because I don't know of any Indians or Pakistanis that work for the IRS. I said, this phone number's being traced. And he said, oh, I'm so scared, then hung up immediately. Yeah, he was scared, all right. But they haven't called back. I'm not that stupid yet. But, you know, it's funny how you can remember some things, especially like me sliding off that roof. Now, I don't remember what happened after that. I'm pretty sure I went to the doctor and got a shot. And I get a scientific letter about new things and stuff like that. And now they're claiming that once you get one of those we used to call, when I was growing up, we called it a lockjaw shot. It was, I don't remember the name of it sometime or another, but anyway, you know, you're supposed to get one every 7 years or 7 years. Well, they say now that once you get one, you don't ever need to get another one. And the reason I'm keep looking up is because I can't see. I need new glasses. I'm looking through the bottom of them. All I see right now, I'm looking through the middle of them, which I have tri-glasses. The middle of them is for computer, and I can't see through that at all. I have to look up a little bit. I'm pretty sure I went to the doctor and got shots. But I remember that was the first time I ever been on a roof. Well, besides working on, helped my dad put tin on our house roof. I don't know if it was before that or after that. And I got another little story for you. Now, I've always thought it was funny. And at first I didn't really think it was funny because it mostly just ticked me off. Now, I quit school when I was 14. I was told I was stupid, dumb, I'd never learn anything, never have anything in life. And I was tired of hearing teachers telling me that. I mean, I had all kinds of friends. And now I had failed first and second grade. Now, how the heck you do that, I don't know. That's the only grades I failed. But I didn't know until I was in my 30s that I had dyslexia. I just knew I just couldn't read letters. And I guess after I got out of school, I did learn some because I got my, of course back then it was all one sheet of paper with front and back to it. It was just what they called the GED test. I took it. And I went to school, night school for 3 weeks. Took my GED test and passed it first time. Well, then I went to college, and I was always interested in paleontology. Well, back then it was called anthropology. Everything was anthropology. Now it's split up to anthropology, paleontology, analogy, and all the other stuff crap. Well, made the mistake of getting a girl pregnant in my second year of college and had to quit. But I'll be the first to tell you, I've made some big mistakes in my life. But anyway, I did try to do better. And the girl I'm married to now, we got married when we was 35 years old. And I was a salesman at a car lot. And we had to do inventory. And we were out there, and it was my job to go through and read all the serial numbers on the cars. And that way the bank knew which cars we had, which one we didn't sell for the last year and everything. Well, we were reading serial numbers off. She said, "That don't sound right." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Let me look at them." So I said, "Well, okay." I said, "Your turn." I said, "You read a few off and I'll write them down." Because she was just after she got off work, she was trying to help me out because I had a lot of cars. I had I had Nissan, Mazda, no, Mitsubishi, Mazda, and Toyota. Lots to take care of. And that's not counting the used ones. And each lot had a used car lot. Well, and she got to looking at them and everything. She said, "You've been reading every one of these backwards." So I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "You got dyslexia." I said, "What is that?" And she made a doctor's appointment. Of course, the doctor said there wasn't nothing to do with it, but she gave me a test. She said, "Yeah, you got it all right." But that's why sometimes I don't answer videos, or I'll just say laugh out loud, or thank you for watching my video, something like that, because I've learned those letters and how they go. Now, my wife is a typist. And when I say typist, I mean typist. She took a typing test for this college down here, and she typed 125 words a minute. Made 2 mistakes. And the girl that gave the test said she's been giving that test for 20 years, and that was the first time she'd ever had somebody type that fast and have only 2 mistakes. And but that's all my wife has ever known to do. That's all she knows how to do is type. And I guess you get used to it. But that's how I found out I've got dyslexia. So I mostly work for myself because I just got tired of people telling me that I couldn't never make anything. That's the reason I left school when I was 14. But just before that, I'll tell you another story. My dad was a minister, and he had a big army tent that he set up, and I guess it was a full platoon tent. So I don't think it might give you an idea how big it was. I don't know how many was in the platoon. But I do know we had around 75 chairs, folding chairs that we'd set up. And there would be a pauper's bench. That's what we call them. I don't know what else it was called, but one on each side at front. And then let's see, he had the desk he stood at and preached from, pulpit. Well, one day we went to church, and every Sunday we'd always stop back by Dairy Queen and get an ice cream. Well, you know how you'd be staring out something, you don't know what you're thinking about. To this day, I don't know what I was thinking about. I was just staring out the window. And my mom said, "Duke." I said, "What?" She said, "You're going to die and go to hell for that." I think Mom said that to me more than anything in the world. She never said, "I love you." And my dad, I never heard that term from my dad until the day I left home. Back then, people just didn't let their feelings be known, I guess. And I I said, what are you talking about? She said, watching that girl wiggle her butt going up through there. I just looked out the car window at her, and she's still walking up to the Dairy Queen order window. I said, well, if she breaks it, I want a piece. And she had a fit. My sisters was laughing like crazy. Wait till your daddy gets back. No ice cream for you, boy. I said, okay. My dad got in the car. And she went to town on him. You ought to hear your son talk. He's been hanging around you guys out on the out on the job too much. Dad said, Duke, what'd you do? I said, what do you mean me? I said, it could have been Doug. He said, Doug's too dumb to know anything. I said, all I did, Mom accused me of looking at some girl's butt going up through there, and I just made a statement that if she ever broke it, I wanted a piece of it. Dad said, where's she at? And I said, she's standing at the window now. And he looked out the window and he said, well, at least she's got good taste. My mother had a fit. You see there, that's where it comes from. You talk like that in front of your son. Now, Dad had never seen anything like that in his life. And he was just laughing. I think he was getting tired of Mom. I don't know. But good God. Now, she would sit in church. And besides, she told us, wait till I get home. I'm going to tell your dad and he's going to spank you. Mom never spanked her. She'd throw things at you. But when Dad got home, he'd send us out and get a switch. We'd come back with a little old switch like that or that. He'd go out and get the whole damn tree. And then beat you to death with it. So we gave him plenty of room. But yeah, I told my dad, we were at work the next week, and I said, Dad, I don't know. I said, I don't know if I can handle being at home anymore. He said, why? I said, well, when I got a day off, I said, I work on the farm. I said, when I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I said, first thing I do is go out and milk cattle, feed the hogs, chickens, and then I run a trip around the pasture to see if any cats have been killed that night for the coyotes. And I said, then I come home and I have to eat my breakfast while we're on the way to work. And I said, I'm 14 years old and I've never been on a date. He said, you're too young to date anyway. I said, no, I ain't. Well, I can't remember what it was. My mother was raising Cain on me. I think it's because I'd stayed out most of the night on a Friday night. Came in about 4 or 5 o'clock Saturday morning. I didn't go to bed. I went up and started taking care of the animals. And because we raised, we raised hogs, and all we did was sell them for slaughter. And we had 100 acres of corn that Del Monte bought from us. We had a small garden. Dad took care of it. We had 25 beef cattle that we raised for beef, and Dad would sell them off in fall and buy calves in spring. And I don't know how he did it, man. He made a profit. I don't know how he did it. But we got the idea from selling to Del Monte was a boy I went to school with. His dad raised cucumbers for pickles for Del Monte. And I asked him one day, I said, how'd y'all get started selling to Del Monte? He said, well, they'll come out there, tell you how much they need. And they said if they like the field and everything, he said, they'll buy it. I said, well, it's too late right now. All ours is feed corn. And I said, it's sweet corn, not sweet corn, field corn that we put up for the winter for the cattle. He said, they'll buy that. He said, we raised a little bit. He said, we raised more pickles and tomatoes than anything, because they'd been doing it for quite some time. And they had a lot more land than we did. And I went home and told Dad about it. And I got, the boy got the number from his dad for me on who to call. We called them, they come out there and look. And they bought that whole 100 acres of corn. And Dad says, well, I need some for feed. And he says, well, he said, how much land you got here? He said, I got 200 acres. He said, well, he said, put 50 of it field corn. Put 50 of it, 100 of it in field corn for, field corn. And he said, put 50 acres of the other in for feed corn. And so that's what we started doing. And then that's how he started making money off the farm. I mean, we made a little bit off beef, because you don't ever make your money back off beef, because beef, the feed, if you have to buy the feed, you can't. There's no way you can make any money off of it. And now I stayed out of the garden because I'll kill everything. I mean, I can plant something and it'll die. My wife, she planted blueberries out here. They all lived. Well, when my mother-in-law passed away, somebody gave us 2 blueberry bushes, donated them to us. I planted them, took care of them just like God did the others, and killed them. I don't know what I did. I got a black thumb and a half. But I cannot remember his name. God. Maybe I'll remember. If I remember, I'll put it on at the end of this video. But let me show you what I've been working on now. This is how bad my memory is getting. That's funny how I can remember something way back when I was 14 years old. But I can't remember to get the camera out here when I start working on something. I may just start leaving it out here. I can't do that because it's cold and the heat would tear it up. But let me show you what I've been working on. And just in case, if I have to make this a 2-part, see how I've been talking for 33 minutes? Yeah, this will be a 2-part. No, that's not minutes. 17 minutes, okay. I'll tell you what, I'll just make this as 2-part. So this will be a part of, end of part 1, and then I'll show you what I've been working on, and I'll put it on same day, I guess, or next day. But catch you on the flip side. Bye now. Okay, the guy's name that put out the video of the guys working on the roof during the snowstorm is Drive Shaft Drew. He's in Manitoba, Canada, I think. So he's got a real pretty Malamute dog, and I had a Malamute one time, but somebody stole it. But anyway, that's the guy that reminded me of that falling off that roof, because we didn't have any safety equipment either. Of course, it wasn't that steep, I don't think. I don't remember. I know it was 2-story, but I can't remember.